It's a warm welcome once again. My name is Tsar. Today we're going to look at how African artifacts were looted from Africa, illegally held in European museums, and how blockchain technology can solve such future occurrences. Art is an indicator of the level of the artist's mind, creativity, and prowess through which he influences the society by changing opinions, instilling values, and translating experiences across space and time. Art affects the fundamental sense of self. Painting, sculpture, music, literature, and other forms of art are often considered to be the repository of a society's collective memory. This said and done, truth be told, African art takes center stage from ancient to modern times. This is depicted by its appeal across the world, evidenced by its display across all media platforms and museums all over the world. Despite the fact that people who love art, tourists, students, etc. pay a great deal to see, admire, learn and get inspired from them, these African artifacts in these museums have a bloody history. They quietly tell a story of racial injustices, slavery, looting, massacre, and colonization, just to mention but a few of the atrocities done to Africans before these artifacts could get into these museums. Therefore, it's undeniable to say that the illegal display of these artifacts in these museums is a betrayal of humanity and a mockery to the souls which perished in the process. Now let's have a brief history of how these African artifacts got into the European museums. For instance, in 1897, the Kingdom of Benin in today's Nigeria was rich in palm oil, rubber and ivory. Trade with the Europeans was flourishing. But the king, the Oba, was a thorn in the side of the British, who wanted greater influence in what was the last independent kingdom and the region. So they sent a small expedition to the city of Benin. It was ambushed en route, leaving 7 British officials dead. In response, the British launched a punitive expedition by a force of 1,200 soldiers of the Royal Navy. The troops burned down towns, villages, massacring local residents. After capturing the city, they began looting its monuments and the royal palace, ivory, wood carvings, masks, bronze sculptures and the reliefs. Thousands of valuable artifacts were stolen, shipped to Europe and distributed to its major museums. Berlin ended up with one of the largest collections. The Oba was exiled. To this day, there has been literal repatriations of these looted artifacts. In 2000, Prince Edwin Akinzo submitted a formal request to the British House of Commons for restitution of a number of items, all in vain. German's ethnological museums are brimming with artifacts amassed overseas, bought, traded, gifted and looted, over 1.5 million of them, but only 5% of them are being put on display. However, there are scenarios in which repatriation talks have been initiated between involved countries, but further challenges arise in terms of verification of the authenticity of the artifacts, the origin source, since the artists are no longer alive, and the history of ownership. This will be solved by blockchain technology. Blockchain will have a great undeniable impact on art in terms of verification, provenance, authentication, as well as a means of collecting these art forms. This means no illegal transaction or possession of the artifacts. Blockchain can make the marketplace safer, since mostly in the marketplace, the artist is usually not available or long dead to verify the authenticity and provenance of the artwork. In 2014, the Fine Art Expert Institute in Geneva stated that over 50% of the artwork it had examined were either forged or not attributed to the correct artist. Blockchain could change these scenarios, since there will be decentralization of records that are linked and secured using cryptography, whose key feature is its fragmented nature. By hosting millions of computers simultaneously, No centralization of information exists for anyone to access or corrupt. In digital selling, two things are of utmost significance. One, is the artwork real? And two, do you have the authority to sell it? Blockchain technology's capability to track and verify authenticity through timestamps on transactions and cryptographic signatures can solve these problems. In order to stop future theft of artworks, we have to incorporate blockchain technology, which enables new level of transparency on an artwork's history as well as a refutable proof of ownership. Blockchain is to make art objects more accessible while changing methods and approaches used in art industry. This is to give new starring opportunities for collectors, art galleries and arts. Many thanks for watching, and you may like to subscribe to my YouTube channel for future interactions. My name is Tsar.